Hi, my name is Adam. Welcome to Airsoft Megastore's troubleshooting series of videos. This one's going to cover situation 2, so for all you users out there, gun owners, that your gun doesn't shoot but it makes a grinding or a clicking noise, something like that, but it doesn't actually fire, this is going to be for you. I'll try to give you the best example I have, and hopefully this works out. So hopefully you can hear this. That's the kind of grounding we're talking about. Those kind of grounding. So, first thing you want to do is double check and make sure you have fully charged battery. If you have a smart charger, you don't have to worry about that. But for all of you that have a wall charger, I'm going to go ahead and go through the conversion real quick. What you're going to want to do to calculate the charge time is on your battery you should see a number, a big number, should be anywhere between 1,000 and 1,800 milliamp hours. And that's what it's going to say afterwards. It's going to say MAH, that stands for milliamp hours. Remember that big number. So this one, for instance, is 1500. You can take the charger. On the label for the charger, there should be an output section, and it should have the voltage, something along the lines of DC 8.4 volt, 9.6 volt, whatever the case may be. There's also going to be another number. This one, for instance, is 250 MA. It stands for milliamp hours. That's the number you want to remember. So when you want to find out the charge time, you take the number off the battery. This one, for instance, is 1500, and then you're going to take the number off the charger. For instance, this one's 250, and you're going to divide the bigger number by the smaller number, the number from the battery by the number from the charger, and you'll get something along the lines of anywhere between 3 and maybe 5.6 at the most. What you're going to do is just take that number and convert that into an hour. So say 3 even would be 3 hours. Say 5.4 would be 5.5 hours. You can round up a little bit. So now that you have a fully charged battery, let's go ahead and if you're still trying to shoot it and it's not making the grinding noise but it's making the clicking noise, where you just pulled the trigger and maybe you feel something in the pistol grip, or it just goes click, you hear a small click or something like that, you're going to want to go for a higher voltage battery. If you're running an 8.4 volt, get a fully charged 9.6, or on even a lithium polymer battery like 11.1 volts. If you're running a 9.6, you'll probably have to go 11.1 with a lithium polymer. You can usually find those at a local airsoft or a hobby store, something like that. You might be able to borrow one or purchase one at a really low price. Basically what you want to do is take that battery, hook it up to your gun, and then run anywhere between 10 and 40 shots through it. Don't go anything over 40 because you don't want to risk messing up the gearbox. But if that's basically what you want to do, because you want to get it to pop the gearbox open, to get it unstuck from where it's at. So once you take that first shot, if it doesn't pop, just try it a couple more times. If after, say, 2 or 3 seconds of holding the trigger down nothing happens, let off, because the longer you hold the trigger down, the more power is going to get to the motor, and though the motor's not running, it's basically like a short circuit. It's going to overcharge your battery or overheat your battery and probably burn it out. So if that doesn't work for you, then the next thing you can try is excuse me, check the pressure screw. And this is going to go for most of the grinding noises like this one. There's going to be a screw on the bottom. Some screws it's a Phillips head, some screws it's an Allen screw like this one. For instance, we're going to go ahead and use an Allen wrench. Some of them may take, D-Boys M4s have a flathead screw. This one's just going to go for the M4s and M16 styles right now. Basically, you want to find the pressure screw, and then you want to do like half a turn and then fire. And then if that doesn't work, do another half a turn, fire. And you just basically want to keep doing that half turn increments until it starts to sound like it might want to shoot. But once it shoots like that, I would say go another half a turn, maybe an entire turn, just to make sure that it's seated properly. After that, you should be able to just keep firing and no problems. If that doesn't work, we'll try the last step, and that's gearbox reset. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Let me go ahead and show you how to adjust the pressure screw on some of the other guns real quick. Go ahead and try an AK. AKs are a little different because of the way the gearbox is designed. You only have one screw on the bottom of an AK pistol grip. What you want to do is don't try to screw that in because you're just going to end up breaking the pistol grip. So go ahead and back that screw out, take the screw all the way out, and then what happens when you take the screw all the way out is that the pistol grip will come off. Like so. Once you got the pistol grip off, you have the motor kind of sits in this little cage thing. You don't have to take it off or anything like that, but what you're going to do is find the hole in the bottom of the cage. That's going to be where this screws into, but in the bottom of that hole is going to be another Allen or another set screw. So you're going to want to take an Allen wrench and basically find that screw down in there, and then you should be able to move it up, move the motor up, and then move it down that way. One more, it's going to be pretty much the same, would be the R36. R36s will have 3 screws, but most of the time you don't have to take the pistol grip off because there is one hole in the bottom, and that's where you're going to take your Allen wrench. You're just going to stick it through there, and then you should feel a set screw in there. And then, so that's pretty much set screws. Last thing we want to check, actually last thing I want to do, if none of those steps work, then what we're going to do is going to go for a gearbox reset. It's essentially pulling the pistol grip cover off, like so. You're going to see this spacer. Make sure you keep an eye on this. Sometimes that can end up on the side of the motor or somewhere down towards the motor head. That could be an issue if it's on the side of the motor or if it's up by the motor head. And then once you do that, you want to take the motor connectors off the motor. All you got to do is pull them off. It's pretty much that simple. Once you get the motor out, this thing's like a giant magnet, so make sure you keep it away from credit cards, TVs, things like that, because you don't want it messing up anything. Last step is in the bottom of the pistol grip, and you can't see it on the camera unfortunately, but down here there's a set of screws. That's what keeps the pistol grip attached to the gearbox. There's going to be usually two Phillips head screws. So just want to go ahead and take them out. And you don't have to make sure they come all the way out. If they're still halfway stuck into the pistol grip itself, that's fine, just as long as it disengages from the gearbox itself. Once you have those 2 screws out, pistol grip should come off. And you should be able to see into the bottom of the gearbox. And when you look in here, you'll see gears, and then what you'll see is a lever. There's going to be a gear on this side, and then basically the shaft for the gear goes in between the gearbox sides, and you'll actually see it in there. Now in the middle of that shaft is a little arm. So here's the shaft, and the arm's going to grab on like this, and it keeps it from turning backwards. So what your point is to get this arm, you want to pull it up, and that's easily done by taking a paper clip or an Allen wrench or something like that, and you just want to bend a small ledge on it, just so enough where you can get it down in there, twist, and then pull it up. So basically you want to locate anti-reversal latch. Be careful when you do this, don't pull it too hard because you can pull it out of the gearbox. You don't want to do that. Basically find the latch, maneuver your tool underneath the latch, and simply pull up. Now what will happen is you should hear a pop, and that's basically the spring releasing all its tension. Once that pop happens, if you try to do it anymore after that, it's not going to make any difference. So once the pop happens, you're good. Go ahead and put everything back together and try it again. If the pop doesn't happen for you, then go ahead and give it one more try.